putting wine into a weight loss program is not a good combination. Wine may not have a lot of calories in it, but it is very high in sugar. In fact, if you think about it, if you are ever looking at your booklet, a serving size of grapes, which is approximately 40 calories, is only 12 grapes. It is one of the smaller portion sizes for a fruit serving. If you were to take those 12 grapes and then make wine with it, you would probably only have about a sip.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of grapes to make that glass of wine. So, and I know if I'm pouring it at home, it's definitely going to be more than a 3-ounce pour. So for every 3 ounces of wine that you consume, it equals a 3 grams of fat, and that's due to the sugar content within the wine itself, because for every 100 calories you consume, your body converts it to a gram of fat because of the sugar content within it. So every time you go to pour yourself that glass of wine, or you're looking at that menu list at the restaurant and you would really like to try something, just think of how many extra fat grams that you're consuming for every ounce of wine that they pour in that glass, and how much disservice you're doing your weight loss regimen for your weight loss program. In addition to that, alcohol in itself in general is a depressant, which can slow the metabolic rate, and we don't want anything to slow down a weight loss program. We're here to speed up the metabolism and to help you to burn fat faster. So adding that again to your regimen would not be a good option. So just some good reasons why not to have wine while on the program.
And wine's not the only culprit. Regular alcohol, spirits, beer, those types of things, just 3 ounces of liquor is 3.5 grams of fat. It's the same type of conversion. These are depressants. They're depressing the metabolism. This doesn't just affect what we're drinking. Let's say we have the 3 ounces of wine, or an actual glass of wine. Let's say it's 8 ounces. 8 ounces of a typical alcohol could have anywhere between 8 to 64 grams of fat, depending on what that alcohol is. All of that fat is fermented sugar. And that's a fancy way to say liquid fat.
And that's before you added any mixers to it.
Exactly, exactly. A margarita, by the way, it takes an hour of basketball just to burn off one margarita.
Favorite comment ever is the patient who mentioned that if it were a girls' night out, since it takes 60 minutes of basketball to burn one margarita, she would need an NBA contract. I'm still laughing about that one.
It was great. It was great.
Best comment ever.
So we have this liquid fat, the alcohol, that has just turned into fat in our tummies. Alcohol, fat ladies, goes right here. This is not where we want to get heavy. So not only is it going here, food. We eat, not just drink. Well, the metabolism now is slowed. So it's not burning the alcohol, but it's also not burning that food. And people tend to eat a little bit more leniently when they're drinking because of the inhibition. So that's the night you were probably going for the nachos or the chicken wings or something that you wouldn't normally do. So now we've double whammied our tummy. Now, in addition to having all this excess fat right in the tummy, it being a depressant slowing things down, let's say you're taking appetite suppressants. Well, those are a stimulant. A stimulant with a depressant starts making things change. They start reversing. Now, the depressant is another stimulant, so we have that jitters that can cause the pain. And now the appetite suppressant is no longer making us full, it's making us hungry. So now we're going to go back to that buffet in extra time, even though we didn't necessarily think we wanted more, now we do. In addition, my HCG patients. HCG looks for fat. Remember, it doesn't know the difference between the fat out here and the fat in here. It loves wine. Why? It's easy to metabolize. It's right there. It didn't even have to dive into any cells and dig around. It just burned what was readily available. So now we're heavier, we are sluggish, we wasted all our money. It's really a lose-lose all the way across the board.
And feeling more dehydrated.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that one's kind of the trifecta of bad when it comes to alcohol, so I apologize. It's just one of those things, it's going to be very detrimental to all areas of your weight loss program.